It's time! It's time! It's JFW time! Alright guys, it's that time to get step in the ring with the greatest faction in podcast history. Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW Podcast, hosted by Travesty.
I am Dizzle J.
Oh my god, somebody does the intro right. God.
I know.
Man.
Give me stupid titles.
Right? You don't have to sit there like, I am the podcast papa, the leader of the LIM. I eat orange juice for breakfast because I choose not to drink pulp. Or whatever goofy shit I have to say. Fucking hey, Jay, this is a good feeling, man.
One thing before we get super into this, let me just say thank you to you for always checking in on me and seeing if I want to come back. And a huge shout out to Cartoon Joe. I listened to the show and he gave a nice little pop. I love his little joke about getting divorced. I know he felt bad about it. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I told him, I told you, well, I mean, obviously, you listen to the show. I told him that you listened to the show and everything. And as soon as he got done recording, he was like, you think he's gonna get mad? I said, I'm like, dude, trust me, he'll fucking laugh.
I laugh, man.
Yeah. We actually just, right before we recorded it, a little behind the scenes for you guys, right before we recorded the episode we're recording right now, I actually recorded a show with Cartoon Joe. And we talked about you coming back. And the one thing I think I failed to mention last time that I mentioned this time is you are technically a founding father of Freaknet Studios.
Yeah, you know? I mean, Hooters.
Hooters, yeah, it was our first board meeting, I guess you could call it. And, granted, only 75% of us are now back. I'm okay with it. It's such a good feeling. And I don't want to take away anything that we have been doing on JFW, because I don't know how long you've been gone. I want to say 4 years, but that just seems like it's too fucking long.
I don't know either, but you guys have been doing a great job on JFW. I've been listening consistently now, probably for the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
I just fell back in. I don't know what happened. I just started listening to more and more podcasts, and obviously I'm going to pick up on your podcast because you're my brother.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I don't want to take away anything that me and Pacman and Nubby have done in your absence. They have been crushing it, and no, this isn't a goodbye to them. So anyone who's listening to this, I have said it for years. I said it even when Jay was originally on the show. Is I have a dream of splitting JFW into two shows and making one an independent-based wrestling show and one a televised-based wrestling show. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Dizzle J is going to help me talk about televised wrestling on these episodes, and Pacman and Nubby are going to help me with the independent wrestling shows over on there. And anyone who wants to join the one or come and help out on the other, more than welcome to. But we found a way to get Dizzle J back into JFW. And I know you appreciate the fact that I was checking up on you in time to time and everything, but really, it was just because I wanted you back. It wasn't anything about your feelings or how you've been doing. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Never have.
Well aware.
Yeah, so I was more focused on how do I get him back so I get more fucking views. You know?
How can I make money off this guy? How can
I need him to come back so I can sell his merch again. So let's.
But Grant, Matt's still wearing the Travesty Dizzle J 2020 shirts?
Yeah, making wrestling. Yeah, I got to make new ones that say Travesty Dizzle J 2024, bring back wrestling or whatever. Yeah, dude, I am overjoyed and excited. Like we're only shooting audio on this one. We will go to video shortly with Dizzle J. But if you had video right now, you would see goosebumps on my fucking arm, because this is 2017 JFW here. You know, it's
OG.
I'm sitting there trying to think to myself, like, how do I want to go about doing this show again? You know, how do I go about bringing Jay back in, and what are we going to do? It's like, just do what we've always done. just go back to basics and be who we are. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to talk about articles and current events of professional wrestling. We're going to do pay-per-view predictions and everything. The Royal Rumble is tonight, and we're going to do the predictions for that here tonight. We're going to talk about some of the shit that's been going on in wrestling, and kind of like and however long it takes. If it takes 45 minutes, it takes an hour, whatever it takes, we're going to get through this, and we're going to enjoy this because, again, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been so long since Dizzle J has been here on the JFW podcast as a host, and it just feels fucking right.
You're building me up so big. I don't want anybody to get disappointed.
Well, because I don't want you to fucking leave next week, man.
No, I think we figured out a schedule that works, and like I said, you know a lot of the reason I left is because I was being a dad.
Yeah.
And that was the most acceptable reason I could give, and now I'm in a spot to where, the little one's sleeping right now because he sleeps like I do.
Yeah, I just, dude, I just appreciate the fact that you picked a really good lie. It wasn't like a half-ass bullshit one. I was like, oh man, I got church shit. You chose a lie that I could believe, and I appreciate that.
Hey, well, if I'm gonna blow smoke, I'm gonna blow heavy smoke.
Snort it's more like it, but whatever. Dude, I just.
That's been a while.
when I hit that line, I want that thick fatty. I get it. I get it. Coke, women, whatever you're into. Don't care.
I'll feel it in my face.
And here's one thing. So you said you haven't really been, you listened to like the last couple months and everything. You haven't been on the show in a while and everything. So I'm not sure if you're going to realize it, but Travis T got a little bit aggressive over the years. I blame a lot of that on fucking Pacman and the way he just fucking brings the worst out of me. But it's also just a cynical fucking business that we're in. So swearing is a lot bigger now, just so you know. It's
what it was, because we did a fucking lot of it before.
You know what? I don't believe we did that. That's the thing, man. Like I until people start pointing out to me, it's like, you've been swearing a lot. I was like, dude, it's fucking Pacman. It's his fucking fault, not me. I'm a good person.
You're a challenged person. It's kind of hard to keep it together.
Exactly, but. We are here. We're back here with Dizzle J. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble. We're going to talk about articles. But before we do any of that, I got to remind all of you guys that this episode of Just Freak of Wrestling, the JFW Podcast, is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It is your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got them all. As mentioned over on this freaking show, I'm going to mention it here now. Because of 2024, they decided to update and change and add some cool discounts and features to their website and their eBay account. Everything. So they used to have 4 eBay accounts. Now they just have 1. Link to that is at the CarterComics.com website. It's on the homepage. Just go to the bottom. You'll see it. It's right there. Our discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET, will save you 10% on your entire purchase, whether it be at the website or at their eBay account. Not only that, they have a multi-purchase discount available. So if you buy more than 1 comic, if you buy 2 comics, you automatically get 10% off your entire purchase. Just by buying 2 comics, you get 10% off your purchase automatically. On top of that, you have free shipping applied to your order. And that's eBay, and that's their website. Not only that, if you utilize our discount code, FreakNet, you get an additional 10% off your order. So let's say Dizzle J decides, I'm going to go buy some comic books. And you throw some comics into a fucking cart. And you're like, okay, time to check out. And you bought, let's say, 4 comic books. And I'll do the math easy for you because we know you're stupid. Totals out to $100. And you're like, wow, it's only $90 because I saved 10% automatically because I bought more than 1 comic. Oh, I'm also getting free shipping? Fantastic. But wait, there's a little box I can type FreakNet into. Now you just saved an additional 10%. So now instead of walking away with just, $90, now it's $80. So.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Actually, there was some comics I was looking to get because Junior was wanting some comics, so I'm going to go check that out.
Yeah, I love what they're doing there. They, like I said, they kind of consolidated everything down to an easier way of doing it. Because, like I said, they had 4 eBay accounts. It was just a little bit too much. They nailed it. They consolidated down to one eBay account now. And like I said, the multi-purchase discount, our Freaknet discount, and the free shipping is included in eBay as well. They're adding new titles every single week. They're putting more and more out there, and they're continuously adding on as they move forward. If for some reason you guys go onto their website, you go onto their eBay account, and you don't see one you're looking for, reach out to them. They're on Facebook at CarterComics.com, or reach out to them through their website and say, hey, I'm looking for this comic. Do you happen to have it? They will look. They will see if they have it. They will sell it to you, discounts included. Or they might be able to help locate it and find it. And again, graded for those who like to just, collect them, hang them up, admire them, or those who like to fucking sit down and have a shitter while reading a comic. Either way, dude. CarterComics.com, your one-stop shop for all your comic needs. Use Freaknet to discount you an additional 10% on discounts that are already available to you. I know, right? I know people are like, dude, you go on with your plugs too much. Well, fuck you. Dude's giving me money.
I think if you're a wrestling fan, if you realize that wrestling and comics almost go hand in hand.
Oh, I have a couple of WWE comic books. I think I got Roman Reigns one and a Triple H one. So, and they're both graded.
A lot of the guys back in the day, that's what they did when they were in the locker room. They would read comic books and stuff like that. Did many interviews.
Yeah. Yeah, so and my plugs may go a little bit long, but who gives a shit, dude? I mock that dude's bowel movements and his inability to pee in public so much, and he still sends me a fucking check. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5-6 minute fucking plug. I don't give a shit.
Hey, as long as the check clears, who cares?
Exactly. One more piece of business I want to relay to you. I'm not sure if you know this or not, so I want to relay it to you because you are back here. Our issues with the Power Hour, how we used to have those. I used to say shitty things all the time.
Yeah, I heard.
That's all done. They're now part of Freaknet Studios. Me and Steve have kumbaya'd ourselves into a point where now we could work together without problems. So, so we're Freaknet is growing, and I'm happy about it. We were able to add an additional show. Me and Joey will be starting a third podcast in March. So growth. That's what we're here for. Growth.
That's awesome.
Let's talk about some wrestling, Jay. It's been about 10 minutes, 12 minutes into this show, and we have yet to talk about any type of wrestling that's been going on in the world, and that's what we're here for. And the first thing I want to talk about 100% is the shit that's going on with Vince McMahon.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's Brock Lesnar, John Laurinaitis has all been named in this too.
Yeah, and I know it was weird because when Pacman sent the articles, I'm like, wow, this is interesting to talk about. Obviously, it was a link to Twitter or X, whatever you guys want to call it, and I read some of the texts that were sent through. And I'm reading them, and I was like, dude, this doesn't sound like a 78-year-old man texting, a girl and stuff, using some. I'm not going to use that language here, That's even I got my limits, and that's what it is. And I was looking at it, it's like, I mean, I can understand, like, this is kind of messed up and everything, but deep down, I'm like, where's the proof that he sent this?
It's hard in this day and age, too. We've seen a lot of people get accused of things, and it's true. Matt Riddle, to be one, has been cleared of charges. I believe Velveteen Dream has been cleared of charges, too. So it's like, you got Brock Lesnar. I mean, does Brock really need
that? I think that dude spends too much time hunting and farming to ever have any kind of sexual assault charges brought upon. Like, that makes no fucking sense.
And not that we're making light of the situation.
No.
Because it is a very serious situation, but this is just our opinion.
Yeah,
is with one of the most beautiful women in the wrestling world.
Right? Yeah. That's right. Yeah. If your wife's in Playboy, you don't need to go fucking anywhere else. But no, you're right. I don't want people to think that we're, what's it called, victim shaming or something like that, because that's not what we're doing. But it's just like one of the things, like, there's always that burden of proof. Like, okay, you got these text messages. Did they come from Vince McMahon? I'm not saying yes or no, because I really don't know. I know the dude's done some really shitty things over his course of his life and everything. I understand that. he is in a way a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I can't sit there and read these texts. I was saying, it's like, okay, that's 100% Vince McMahon. I can't because there's no physical evidence to it. But regardless of all of that, I know he's going to fight that and go to court for it and try to clear his name and everything, but he's not going to do it as a member of the board of directors of TKO as he announced his resignation, I believe, just last night.
Yep.
So once again, Vince McMahon, no longer part of WWE, as he left earlier last year, came back during the merger thing, left again. I mean, we replaced him with Dwayne Johnson, which, I mean, fucking upgrade, right?
I mean, it can. The way the product is going, it's been so much more fun to watch.
Yes.
The past, I don't want to say 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Where it used to be like, oh, I have to watch Raw because I'm just a wrestling fan, and now it's like, fuck, I need to watch Raw.
Yeah, dude. The thing that I love the most, and I'm not sure how other people feel, but hell, I don't even know how you feel about it. The thing I love the most is I'm a huge faction guy. I love wrestling factions, and the fact that it seems like there is too many factions is the perfect amount of factions for me.
I think, man, I'm the same way. I love the factions. We came up in the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
It was faction heavy, so I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And you get the Bloodline, the Judgment Day, and now with Judgment Day with R-Truth, and R-Truth is just an amazing athlete, not only and a performer, so he makes everything worth watching himself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but then you look at the factions that are like slowly growing. The Final Testament with Karrion Kross, in a way that Bobby Lashley kind of brought the Hurt Business back with the Street Profits. I don't think they have an official name. You got the LWO. You got Legado del Fantasma, I guess is kind of with Santos kind of redeveloping. We saw on SmackDown last night that Elektra kind of returned into that managerial role for them, the one that she lost when the team came back up to SmackDown. Dude, it's just
about a women's faction.
Yeah, dude. And congratulations, by the way, to Kairi Sane and Asuka for winning the tag titles. They previously won them before as Kabuki Warriors. I think it was mentioned that they are the longest reigning WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, and now they're 2-time Women's Tag Team Champions. Absolutely fantastic. But dude, WWE is fantastic. And I know a lot of people are like, I saw one article where somebody not an article, but a post on X where somebody's like, everyone complains that AEW is becoming WCW 2000, but nobody wants to talk about the fact that WWE is becoming WWF 96. It's like, it's not the fucking same though. It's not WCW 2000 and WWF 96. Not even close to being the same kind of fucking popularity to fans and the talent that they fucking had.
Like you're still having trouble filling buildings on their weekly show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
WCW 2000 did not have that problem.
I can't remember the conversation who I had it with. It had to have been, dude, it could have been you, honestly. It was that long ago. But AEW reminds me of WCW, like the exact same way. You start up a company, you get really hot because it's new and it's fresh and it's different, and now it's slowly trickling away just like WCW did in 2000, 2001. Go ahead.
The AEW is, and I believe a lot of people's problem is like their storytelling is horseshit. Their matches are great, kind of spot monkey-ish for me, but they're but the storytelling behind it, and they're lacking. I think Tony Khan needs to hire somebody to come in there and help him. His booking is great.
Yeah,
the matches he makes are great, but there needs to be more story behind it, I believe.
Yeah, what you need to do is you need to stop giving fucking Chris Jericho factions to run. Like I love factions, but dude seems to have like a new faction every couple years.
He's the greatest of all time, baby.
God damn it, yeah. I gave up on him the moment I found out his finisher was a spinning back elbow. I'm just No. I love Chris Jericho. Don't get me wrong. Arguably the most justifiable Hall of Famer ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
Between where he's wrestled, who he's wrestled, what titles he has held, arguably guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer the moment he fucking retires. And I get that he always evolves. I know he had some interview somewhere years ago where he said every time he came back and did something, he changed his look, he changed his finisher. And I get the swinging back elbow is a move he can do to anybody out of nowhere. I get it. I just don't like it because that's way too much of a basic move that I see in wrestling matches now that is somehow becoming a finisher. It's almost like the exact opposite of a DDT. DDT used to be a finisher. Now it's just a spot in a match. It's
unless you have a different taste to it, like the execution or
the Future Shock.
Moxley does it, or the Future Shock.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love when those guys put a little bit of spin on something old and make it new.
Yeah, if you make it unique, you make it different. I can understand that. It's like when people it's like when you look at the frog splash. Like D'Lo Brown's frog splash, Eddie Guerrero's frog splash, RVD's frog splash. They're all different. They're all unique in their own little ways. But then you get like Kevin Owens, who does a frog splash. He doesn't do it as a finisher. He does it as a spot because it's a quick jump and go. Dominic Guerrero, though, that's his finisher. So I get that there's some imagination you got to use in wrestling, and yeah, maybe this may not be a finisher, maybe this not be the ending of the match, but it's a pretty cool fucking move. Swinging back elbow never falls into my list of 100 great fucking moves.
No,
it's just not. And
it falls in line with their fucking Naomi's rear window.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I hated that as a finisher. Logan, I believe I made this known ever since we started this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking put my ass in your face and you fall down, I win. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's less effective than a stink face. It's the same move, but presented differently.
I mean, I take it, but.
But Vince McMahon is gone. This marks the first time in WWE history where there isn't one Vince McMahon or one McMahon on the board of directors.
Yep.
Closest to it, Paul Levesque, Triple H. Not one McMahon is on that board of directors for the first time in its history.
Well, they're also talking that they might get rid of anybody who is McMahon loyal. So does that mean we lose Triple H? I think it'll be a mistake.
I hope, yeah, because honestly, if they lose Triple H, I don't see a reason Shawn Michaels sticks around, and Shawn Michaels is one of the reasons why NXT is becoming more relevant again. I think it'd be a bad move. I'm sure that Triple H would do everything in his power to not answer or respond to any questions related to McMahon, which I think would be a smart move. But they can't lose him. They just can't. And like I said, I'm glad that they have The Rock there because The Rock does kind of understand his business. He understands Hollywood as well, and obviously with the entertainment aspect of what we're doing, I think he's a great fit. Other wrestlers I would choose, maybe John Cena. He understands business. I think he'd be solid in that spot. Mark Calloway, also great. Understands business. He'd be great in a spot like that. Glenn Jacobs, once he's done, running Knoxville County out there in Tennessee, great idea. Smart dudes. But obviously, I don't think they want to, run WWE through the entire board full of Attitude Era guys. But it's just like, if you're getting the knowledge in there, fucking utilize it. One question I did have, and I'll relay it to you, give your thoughts and everything. We know Dwayne Johnson owns the XFL. We know that he bought it from Vince McMahon a few years back. Does the XFL get absorbed into TKO, or would that remain a separate thing?
I believe if you hire The Rock, you're not acquiring XFL unless it's part of the deal. And I haven't heard that be part of the deal, but I did hear part of the deal was that now Dwayne Johnson owns the Rock name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me re-ask it because I think I asked it wrong. If you were the Rock and they wanted the XFL, would you want to have it be absorbed by TKO?
I don't see where there would be any loss for the XFL because they really haven't performed well financially. Now, I've watched the games. I enjoy watching the XFL as an alternative when the NFL is gone. I enjoy the games. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but I really liked it. So I think it would be a great deal to have TKO, this powerhouse company, behind it. Maybe to better advertise for it because I never knew when the XFL games were on to watch them.
Yeah, I know because I believe the XFL was in between the NFL season and shows like spring, summer, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never knew the channels they were on, and I know a lot of like the XFL is very comparable to I don't know if you follow baseball at all or watch baseball, okay. but they're creating like this Saudi Arabia team. Saudi Arabia's creating their own baseball league, and they got a lot of the older guys from MLB who aren't playing, like Robinson Cano's over there, Bartolo Colon's over there. Some of the old guys, there's maybe even like guys, who are between our ages, like the 36 to, 38, 39 era, who maybe aren't that great here, but are finding a home in Saudi Arabia. It's just like Japan and Korea and Mexico, they're creating their own leagues. Saudi Arabia is doing the same thing. So to me, the XFL is very similar to that. It's guys it's like Canadian Football League. Guys who aren't quite there yet for the NFL are finding these independent leagues to go play in. And that's what I've always seen the XFL as. I think the XFL's rules are a little bit different. I think the balls are a different size. I think the downs and everything are a little bit less. And I know they have different unique things.
And they have a couple of unique rules. I believe there's certain spots where you can get 1 or 2 points for extra point. But there was talk at one point in time that the XFL would become the minor league to the NFL, as is AAA baseball to Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. Like guys coming out of college undrafted, trying to find a spot to show their tech. I understand her saying completely. I think that's a great idea. I think if TKO does make an offer to The Rock, though, I think he should sell to him. It's like I get that he wants to try to make it his own. I understand that, but the idea that you could take a company and put their backing behind the XFL, money wise, promotion wise, and all that shit, I think it's less of a stress factor on The Rock. I don't know what his stress factor is. I don't know. I don't know what movies he's being part of and all that shit. But it's like, why the fuck not? You still keep you just keep like a majority, stake in it, sell like 49% of it off to TKO or some shit, get them involved. That's the whole reason they merged, UFC and WWE and all that shit merged for the first place, is to have the, necessities to do more.
If you look at it from an advertising point of view, now you're advertising on WWE channels and UFC events. And UFC events are just as big, if not bigger, than PLEs for WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're reaching a much wider community of people who like violence. And football is probably, besides rugby, one of the more violent sports, or hockey, that you could watch. So it's like you have more options for getting your product out there to see more. Like I said, that was a problem with me with the XFL. I didn't know when they were on, didn't know what channel they were on, but when I found them, I watched them. So now you can have this whole extra community you can do this to. So, if I was The Rock, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm selling.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, I know there's going to be a lot of shit that's going to be happening between now and WrestleMania. There always is. So I'm excited to see if it's noticeable. what
Right.
changes, what develops in the course of the next few months with, Vince being gone, Dwayne being in there. And I don't know what Dwayne's official title is, but I know he's not replacing Vince McMahon. I know that for a fact. So I don't know who is Vince's replacement as of right now. I know it was like a co-chair agreement where like basically TKO had two leaders, one UFC end, one WWE end, and that was Vince. So I'm not sure if maybe Paul's gonna, be the one to step in there, or maybe Stephanie comes back. Who knows?
I could see Nick Khan stepping up in there. He's upper management for WWE.
Yeah, I see that too. Speaking of returns, not sure if you had a chance to see it and everything, but NXT this past week, we saw William Regal on NXT shows for the first time in, a year and a half? Yeah. What's your thoughts on William Regal and coming back? I'm not sure what capacity he's coming back as of right now. I know that he appointed, fucking talk about nepotism, but The Rock's daughter as the general manager of fucking NXT. I'm not saying it's related, but I mean, you put Dwayne on the fucking board of directors of fucking TKO, and then suddenly, fucking daughter's. But talk to me about William Regal. Share with me William fucking Regal.
The most underrated wrestler I can believe of all time.
Guaranteed Hall of Famer, right? Gotta be.
Guaranteed Hall of Famer, no matter, he's never been a world champion in the big two that I know of. I think he's had minor titles, and I don't want to call it IC or the USA Championship a minor title, but that's kind of what it is. But one of the most underrated, underutilized wrestlers of all time. He was good as a serious kick-ass dude. He could do the comedy. He was great as a GM. I believe he was Raw GM at one point in time, or SmackDown GM at one point in time too. If I remember correctly.
Raw, yeah, during the invasion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right before it or whatever. Yeah.
I love William Regal. The best for me is when he fought Goldberg during Goldberg's run.
Oh, yeah.
Goldberg hard time, and Goldberg had to earn that win.
Yep.
And that was hilarious because William Regal's a badass.
My two favorite moments of William Regal in the wrestling ring. One, same match, him facing Goldberg. And when Goldberg got him up in the jackhammer and he had like frog legs for some fucking reason. Solid. Fucking entertained me. Also was during his Intercontinental title run where he won with the power of the punch. And, which to anyone who owned, SmackDown, I think it's Here Comes the Pain or whatever, your finishing move was the power of the punch. So you're not all fucking saints in this world. When he used it on the Big Show, knocked the Big Show out, and Big Show fell over on top of him, and Regal lost the Intercontinental title.
I forgot about that.
Those are my two favorite, because dude is as serious as he can look and as serious as he is when he's in that ring. There's comedic moments that he could get over. They're just fantastic. I believe also another one was WWF. I believe it was it Insurrection when they did the London or the England pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it was either that or it may have been a house show. Either way, William Regal was wrestling on that show, and they came out and they played his old like 1980s WWF "He's a Man" theme song.
Oh yeah, who did that to him as a rib? Who was he wrestling? Was it Jericho?
I can't remember. I'm sure if you Google it, it'll pop up. But it was just funny the fact that like the thing is because he has the ability to do that. He's able to be a serious guy, but he can have those comedic points. Like when Jericho peed in his fucking teacup. You know, the shit he did with Tajiri was fucking fantastic. When he was a WWF guy, and then turned and went to the Invasion and stuff. he got Tajiri over and shit. Dude is a fantastic fucking competitor. Obviously, you know, he was released from WWE, went to AEW for a little bit, created a faction over there that is still around to this day. Even after he left, sat at home, wait for the 1 year, no compete to, or no trade clause or whatever to expire to return to NXT.
His best work as the GM of NXT too, so.
Oh yeah. And the fact that he also works with, wrestling fans know him as Albert. Deep Dive wrestling fans know him as Matt Bloom or whatever, Matt Bloom. Working at the NXT training center. When he goes down there working with the guys there, working on grappling and footwork and shit like that. Fantastic fucking dude. And I'm glad that he's back in the wrestling business. And I'm glad, hopefully I don't know what capacity he's back in NXT, but hopefully he still kind of shows up on TV because nobody says War Games better than William Regal.
And let's face it, and that was that was the first pay-per-view I've ever been to, and it was with you.
God, other than those seats being snug, great fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was talking to Little Junior, and he wants a WWE show, but he only wants to go if you can go with us.
Oh, God. Well, you know how I feel about hanging out with your fucking kids.
I don't. It's funny because you love them, they fucking love you.
God, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they mean well and shit, but the fact that, they have to be present to be around me. No, your kids are cool.
Now, but there's a story behind that we won't get into now.
Your kids they've been great more than they haven't been, and pretty well mannered, coming from you. Solid kids, yeah. Good kids. I got nothing against your kids. I just don't like fucking kids. Ask Gabagool and his stupid baby. He fucking knows. I told a child to fuck themselves because they didn't listen to my show at a wrestling show. So it's not just your kids; it's all kids in general. Just you're fine from afar. Don't come talk to me. Don't just if you're at my house, sit on your fucking hands. Don't move. I do want to get to another pay-per-view though. I absolutely 100% do. They're just so fucking expensive nowadays.
I know. I was looking into it. Survivor Series. I was going to try to go to Survivor Series, and they allowed 2-day tickets, and they were $170 a piece.
Yeah,
that's in a nosebleed.
Yeah, dude. The cost of tickets tripled since we went. That's for the same fucking seats, and that wasn't triple to see WWE. That was triple to see NXT. It's fucking nuts, But we could do that. Who knows? One day I'll win the fucking lottery and we'll go to a WrestleMania and shit. It's just be you and me. Fuck your kid. I don't need him to be there. Because we'll be going. I'll take him to a pay-per-view, but I'm not taking him to fucking WrestleMania because if we go to WrestleMania, we're going for the entire WWE Access week. Like we're going to Raw, NXT, SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, both nights of WrestleMania. We're going to Fan Access because if I win the fucking lottery and I have that money, I am spending that fucking money. And we're sitting front row and shit like that. I know it'd probably be better to be in a skybox and be all fancy shit. No, I want to be right at that fucking ring. I want to slap hands with some fucking idiots,
I want WWE to come make me take my hoodie off, my JFW hoodie, so I can take it off and have my Dizzle J t-shirt on underneath.
Yeah, we will have
under that.
We will have front row seats, opposite hard camera side to every event for that week. We will be seen on Raw TV, on SmackDown TV, on NXT TV, on WrestleMania, both nights on fucking Peacock. We will be seen repeatedly. But I'm not taking your kids because we're going to have fun. We're going to have chauffeurs because we're getting fucked up.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We will create a WWE New York. And of course, we'll have to do some, work and stuff. We'll have to do some vlogging and everything because that way I could write it off as a business expense. What? But yes, I do think we should get to another pay-per-view. I went to a pay-per-view at the Now Arena over in, what the hell is that? Up north somewhere. I can't remember what the hell it is. What?
For AEW?
Yes. Yeah. Their seats, fantastic. I don't fucking know. 2021, I think. They went 2021. I went to a pay-per-view there, and the seats are fantastic because the armrests kind of angle out when you sit into it.
So for us hefty guys, it's kind of nice.
It was beautiful. Not only that, you could raise the armrest up if you don't even need it, so it gives you more space. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically like airplanes should be.
Oh, I hate airplane seats.
Fuck airplanes. Fuck airplanes. Fuck airplanes. Fuck Allstate Arena seating. Fuck the Chicago White Sox seat. Get wider seats, people. This is a new fucking world we live in. People are fat. It happens. Even men have wide birthing hips. It's just the way life is. Anyways.
What's up? Cancel the seats.
Royal Rumble is tonight, man.
Yes.
There is. What?
One of my favorite shows of the year.
It's the beginning. It's the road to WrestleMania. There's a good chance we may find out who the first inductee into the Hall of Fame is going to be tonight. Sometimes they do that. Right now, we only got 4 matches that are scheduled. I don't know if there are going to be any pre-show matches or any other shows matches that are added or anything. I don't know. 4 seems kind of light. I would think maybe a 5 or something, but.
Oh, 2.
But I want to run through these matches. I want to talk a little bit about how we got to this point, and then obviously we'll do the predictions and everything. Pacman and Nubby decided not to wake up this morning and be part of the show, which is fine. Good on them for being, committed team players. I get it. Pacman has family shit to do. Like, he has a fucking family that wants him around to do shit. Whatever. I do got their predictions, so we'll go through theirs, and then obviously you and I will read ours. As always, Royal Rumbles, we get 2 picks. We get a who we think we're going to win, and then we get a dark horse. And I know I mentioned it on the show that a lot of people will take that dark horse pick and just pick a secondary person who could fucking win. That's not what it's for, but hey, whatever Pacman wants to do to try to guarantee a win because he wanted to fucking win so badly last year and fucking lost, but still undefeated. I'll live, hold that with pride, really. So. The first match I want to talk about is Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. Obviously Logan Paul, won the title. Oh, jeez, what pay-per-view was that?
It was, Survivor Series, wasn't it?
Sounds right. I can't remember. I don't know. This is what you're here for, Jay. What you got?
I believe it's, you want me to say who I think is going to win? I believe it's Survivor Series.
We're not going to do predictions right now. I want to talk about how we led up to it, but I don't have the information for it. You're supposed to have that shit.
Well, I'm 33%, bro. You're getting.
You haven't even given me an eighth of what I fucking needed yet.
I gave you my best guess.
Oh, fuck. Who did he beat? Was it Rey Mysterio, right?
Yeah, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Survivor Series sounds right. How about we say he won in 2023? There we go. He came out, created a tournament and everything. Kevin Owens won the tournament. Fantastic. Some of the guys who were in that, obviously Kevin Owens, Santos Escobar, Bobby Lashley, Karrion Kross. Yes. Awesome comparison to the tournament. Obviously Kevin Owens did pick up the victory. He's walking into the Royal Rumble to face, Logan Paul. He's not allowed to utilize that cast that he's had on his hand to, repair the injury given to him by, A-Town Down, Austin. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Jay, give me your prediction, man.
I'm thinking Logan Paul walks away with it.
Okay. I also went
But not until WrestleMania.
Gotcha. I also went Logan Paul. Pacman went Logan Paul. Nubby chose Kevin Owens. Yeah, I think they want Logan to hold it until WrestleMania till he can face somebody there. Who? I'm not quite sure yet. I know him and Ricochet had some pretty. They had a pretty good match last year. Obviously, they had that one spot in the Royal Rumble last year. It wouldn't surprise me to see maybe him face Ricochet at WrestleMania because then they can put on a great match. I know there was that one moment in Money in the Bank last year where they had that horrifying, scary spot with the table.
Yeah.
I think that maybe they would want to make up for that. So I would love to see a Logan Paul Ricochet United States Championship match at WrestleMania. I think that'd be a really solid match.
I'm thoroughly impressed with Logan Paul coming in. Not too excited about the part-time thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like part-time champions. It just drives me nuts. But when he is there, he performs at a WWE level.
Well, I know he had one moment. I think he said it maybe on his podcast or something that he's getting to that point where he's feeling like he doesn't want this to just be a hobby anymore. So I mean, we saw the part-time shit with Brock Lesnar, and we kind of saw slightly full-time with Ronda Rousey, and it seems like he's going from being a Brock Lesnar to being a Ronda Rousey. So, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that he's U.S. champion. I know people don't like the fact that he's in the business anyways, but you know what? A lot of celebrities went into wrestling and shit, and they weren't so bad. I mean, even the fucking Miz was on, What the Real World or some shit before he came into WWE. So, it's just fucking Bad Bunny had a pretty solid match in Puerto Rico.
That's actually made my other list. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got the freaking 5 we gotta do too. Forgot about that shit. Fatal 4-way match for the undisputed Universal WWE, whatever the hell is fucking called title. What is it called?
I think it's called the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship of the World.
That is a stupid name.
It's a fucking stupid name.
We're gonna have Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight, Roman Reigns, fatal 4-way match. No championship, no champion. I can't think of the fucking word. That's why I need Joe. Joe fucking has words for me. There's no champion's advantage. Roman does not have to be pinned to lose the belt. We saw Randy Orton return at Survivor Series. We saw AJ Styles return a few weeks ago from injury. LA Knight has kind of been the guy who picked up the stick and ran with it when they were losing guys to injuries and stuff like that. All these dudes have a right to, a championship opportunity. I more prefer fatal 4-way elimination matches, but I know this is a first fall finish. Jay, what's up?
Long time.
Yeah, right. I think, honestly, to me, the last time I remember having a fatal 4-way elimination in WWE was WrestleMania 2000 with the Big Show, The Rock, Triple H, and Mankind. So I'm pretty sure that was a fatal 4-way elimination match. Or no, maybe it was the elimination match for the Universal Championship on Raw, but I think that was a 5-way.
Yeah, I don't know. See, if I had the laptop, I could do double duty and show.
Yeah. Okay. So we got 4 guys to choose from. We saw what happened on SmackDown. LA and I got the final say in that. Randy Orton got the final say the previous night. AJ Styles got RKO'd both times. Everybody wants to be champion. If Randy wins, he's 15-time WWE champion. If AJ wins, 3-time. If LA Knight wins, first time ever. Somebody wants to finish the longest streak in the last 40 years, whatever the hell it is. I think they're going to hold off until WrestleMania, so I'm going Roman Reigns for the win.
I also chose Roman, but I believe they have to go to SummerSlam for him to beat Hogan.
I don't think I don't think he'll do that. He's got to drop it at WrestleMania. Both Pacman and Nubby also pick Roman Reigns. We also got to keep in mind that there still is the Money in the Bank out there. Let everyone keep that shit in mind.
It's on the side shot that didn't cash that in on Monday. But the
Dude, you know what? Here's one thing I don't get about the Money in the Bank. And maybe you can kind of, maybe agree with me, disagree with me on that. But, okay, so the idea of Money in the Bank is you can cash it in at any time, anywhere, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it that when Damian Priest goes out to cash in during a match, he gets knocked down, the match continues, finishes, they have a winner, and the announcer's like, well, Priest, I guess you'll have to try to cash in another day. What's stopping him from still jumping in and trying to cash in at that moment? It's like they had at least there's 3 occasions I can kind of remember with Seth Rollins where he tried to cash in during Seth's match, gets jumped, gets knocked down or whatever. Seth wins the match. He raises the title. His music plays, and instantly they decide, okay, now that the match is over, you can't cash in now. It's like he can still cash in, but they're making it seem like he missed his spot.
I think they're trying to build the more. I don't know, but it does make sense that he could still cash in. So if he did, I guess maybe now Seth's paying attention, so the heel persona wouldn't attack somebody that's watching you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, now we're getting to the point now where he's having it long enough to where I'm starting to lose interest in it. And the fact that now Seth is potentially out until WrestleMania, he's not going to cash in on Seth anytime between now and then if Seth is really staying away for surgery, rehab, and everything until WrestleMania. And I doubt that we're going to see him cash in on Roman Reigns unless he tries to cash in at the Royal Rumble. And knowing WWE and some of the decisions they make, it wouldn't surprise me to see them trying to do a cash in to end his title reign. It would not surprise me one bit.
I could see that too, but I really think, for whatever reason, I think he's going to cash in on Rollins or that title.
Mm.
So much surrounding the other title that they have to make the title. Not saying that it isn't, but it is still the newest title on the brand.
Gotcha. Women's Royal Rumble, we'll start with that one first. Obviously 30 men or 30 women in. We all know how the Royal Rumble works. We talked about it before and everything. One of the cool things, Jay, I don't know if you know this or not, or I'm sure you realized it then, but I haven't thought about it since, but 2022, Mickie James as Impact Champion, or Knockout Champion, don't know why WWE didn't call it Knockout Champion, but Impact Champion, showed up at the Royal Rumble.
That was the first time anybody's ever been champion of different organizations in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I pulled up an article and I was looking at some of the other wrestlers from other companies who showed up in WWE's Royal Rumble, why they were contracted to another company. And obviously it's all older guys or it's like Japan guys and stuff like that. Mickie James is not only the first woman, but the first person in nearly 30 years or 20 years to have this. And it's interesting to see that it was Impact that she was able to do this. And I know a lot of people are speculating, I'm one of them, that the whole reason they allowed her, that they wanted her to be in the Rumble as this moment, using her actual theme song, is to kind of apologize for the rumors that her stuff was shipped back to her in a garbage bag. I don't know if you remember that story.
Yeah, I remember hearing.
Yeah. So I think that was kind of like hey, I'm sorry this happened. How can we make this right? How about we do this? Blah, blah. I mean, there's speculation that, she could be one of the surprising entrants into the Royal Rumble, especially with the speculation that Impact is associated with, the streaming company or production company that WWE is part of and everything. And I don't know if it's TKO or another name, whatever that, but they think that there's a growing relationship between the two companies coming. So it was, what's up?
So Scott D'Amore now runs TNA.
Scott
I believe. Yeah. He has a.
He's not D'Amore. What the fuck is that?
I thought it was D'Amore.
The more. When the moon hits your eyes like a big piece of pie, that's got the more.
But he has done an excellent job of revitalizing now back to TNA.
Thank God, by the way.
Yeah, I love the TNA title is way better than Impact.
For me, when TNA went to Impact, would be the equivalent of like Attitude Era Raw turning into late 2000 SmackDown. It's just like too soft.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we could see people from Impact potentially showing up at the Royal Rumble. Mickie James could be one of them. Another one that people are speculating, excuse me, is Mandy Rose. Yeah. One of the biggest ones, and is actually my dark horse pick, is Sasha Banks. So for me, my prediction wise, I'm choosing Bayley to win it, but my dark horse is Sasha.
Yeah, I chose a dark horse first because I would like to see Naomi come back and win.
Yeah, because she said goodbye to Impact, I believe, too, right? Didn't she? Or yeah. TNA not long ago. Yeah, so her return could be obvious. You know, it could be something that kind of happens.
And then I chose Bayley as my, I guess, dark horse. But you know, if Bayley wins, they take another title. Now Damage Control has all the gold in the female division, which I don't think we've seen that happen yet in any faction for a long time.
Probably not since, well, I know Judgment Day kind of did it, but they used an NXT belt. Evolution, probably the most recent.
Yeah. That would have to be the most recent.
Yeah. Pacman went Bayley and Banks, similar to me. Nubby went Chelsea Green and AJ Lee. So I'm guessing Chelsea Green's his pick and AJ Lee is his dark horse. If I believe though, if Bayley is to win, I see her going against Io Sky at WrestleMania. I don't see Damage Control making it to WrestleMania. I definitely see Kabuki Warriors with Dakota Kai, them four breaking off from Bayley. They've been doing it slowly since Kairi Sane and Asuka joined. You saw it last night when Bayley went to go high five Kairi and she blew past Bayley and hugged Io Sky, and you just saw like Bayley like, yeah, we did it, you know. So they're slowly pushing her out. But so I can definitely see if Bayley was to win the Royal Rumble, I see it as being the equivalent to Batista's decision when he won the Royal Rumble. You know, the thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm facing Triple H, not JBL. That shit that happened 2000 and early 2000s, whatever the hell it was.
I could see them pick out Bayley and the other white girl.
Dakota Kai. I don't see her leaving them. I see her as kind of being, because I don't know where her leg is. I don't know how much longer she's out due to her injury. If she sticks around, maybe I think as far as a manager's role, she's probably gonna stick around that. But I don't see them kicking her out.
Hopefully, they don't turn her back into a fucking hugger.
Into a what? A hugger. Okay, I thought you said hunter, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, I don't think she'll do the hug life thing, but I could definitely see her going back to being a baby face. And I can see her facing Io Sky. If Bayley wins, she will face Io Sky at WrestleMania. I would bank on that happening. I would Sasha Banks on that happening.
I could definitely see that.
Men's Royal Rumble, probably the one time where it was hard to select one person in the sense of there are multiple options for a winner. Before, every time we do a Royal Rumble selection, it's like, who's the guy that kind of earned it? Who's the guy that kind of deserved it? But when you look at this year, it's like, God, who deserved it more than somebody else? You know, I mean, you got guys like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, who everyone believes to be the winner. Drew McIntyre, like for a second run. Walter to step up and be the guy. And there's so many options this year on who to pick that it just seems like if it's not one person, they're fucking up because it's not somebody else.
Oh, you have so many options.
Yeah.
For me, I would love do the biggest swerve of all time. I didn't pick the man, but have R-Truth win. I guarantee you, if R-Truth won, that pop in that building would blow the roof off. It would not be a dumb decision at all. I've been thinking about this. Like, have him win. You don't have to have him win the title at WrestleMania, but it would be fucking awesome if you did. Nobody would be upset. I guarantee it.
If R-Truth won?
If R-Truth won.
Dude, I remember, I can't remember what year it was, but remember like it was like the 50-man Royal Rumble they did that one year?
Yeah.
Where I think Alberto Del Rio won, but it came down to Santino and Alberto, and everyone was popping thinking that Santino was going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Very similar to that. Yeah, we do know R-Truth is in it. Santo Escobar and Bobby Lashley picked their numbers last night. There's speculations that Wade Barrett might make a return and kind of have like a spot in there. We know Corey Graves has been cleared to wrestle, so maybe he might have a spot for that. But we also have to consider the fact that, like I said, Impact Wrestling could have a presence in the ring. You know, we saw Okada, say goodbye to TNA. We know there's rumors that he's coming over to WWE. He can make a surprise debut in the match. Moose could show up in the match. I know NXT is being represented in the Royal Rumble again this year. So we could see, Braun Breaker show up. We saw Trick Williams and Carmelo. Dude, this is going to be probably the most talent-packed Royal Rumble that we have seen in I don't know how long. The
last major surprise for me, the Royal Rumble, that I completely marked out at was AJ Styles.
2016, which was fucking beautiful. The thing is, like, and even like with the women's Royal Rumble, and I forgot to mention this when we were talking about, but over the course of the last, I don't know, has it been 4 or 5 Royal Rumbles they've done? They've always been saturated with WWE legends coming back. And I get that they did that in the sense of like they never had the opportunity before. Let's at least give it to them now who are able to take the opportunity. But they've always had about 5, 6, legends coming back. Kelly, Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Trish Stratus, like repetitively. But this year, if you look at Raw, you look at SmackDown, you look at NXT, I mean, shit, Tiffany, oh God, I kind of want to change mine. No, I'm not doing it. I'm committed. But there's no reason to say that Tiffany Stratton couldn't win the Royal Rumble.
No, who was the girl that was with Trish Stratus earlier this year or last year?
It was Zoe Starks.
Zoe Starks, holy cow!
Yeah. Zoe Starks, dude. They're as much as I love seeing the wrestlers that I grew up with coming in and having their moments. There is no reason to have one surprise legend in either one of these Royal Rumbles this year. I know they want to do it because they need to have the pop and the shock and all that shit. I understand that, but they really don't fucking need it. If anything, have a Legends Battle Royal at fucking WrestleMania and stuff. I don't need to see Hulk Hogan fucking come back into this Royal Rumble like everyone is speculating is going to happen because he said that he may have one more left in him. I don't need The Rock to be in this. I swear to God, I laughed my ass off. So I said, like, how would you feel knowing that CM Punk came back, got into a Royal Rumble just to lose it to The Rock again?
Oh, God.
I don't need The Rock in the fucking Royal Rumble. If anything, I know one of the speculations was The Rock facing Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia at Elimination Chamber. I think, or was it Saudi Arabia as Elimination Chamber or Perth? Perth or what?
Australia,
Perth. Okay, thanks. So I think I'm fine with that. I don't need to see Rock and Roman Reigns at fucking WrestleMania because I don't need to see Roman Reigns beat The Rock at fucking WrestleMania. Because The Rock is not going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It's not going to happen. Roman will beat The Rock, and I'm fine with seeing it at Elimination Chamber. I don't need to see it at WrestleMania. What I need to see at WrestleMania is I need to see Cody and Seth Rollins, or I'm sorry, I need to see Cody and Roman Reigns again, and I need to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins. That's who I fucking need. This is the one that I have yet to put my choices on because, like I mentioned, it's a very hard predictions to fucking make. Everyone else has great picks. Nubby, Cody as his pick, Gunther and his dark horse. Pacman took the cheap way out, picked Punk as his winner, Cody as his dark horse. DJ, who you got?
I got Punk to win and Gunther as my dark horse.
Okay. So I'm picking Punk to win. My dark horse, and I should have looked this up. Strowman.
Oh.
Because we haven't seen Braun Strowman in God knows how long. I don't know the extent of his injuries. I don't know if he's still rehabbing or not. But he's been gone, I think, long enough to the point where if he's like, hey, when do you want me to return? It's like, we'll put you in the fucking Royal Rumble. If they do it right, we could get the Braun Strowman who was a former heavyweight champion during the pandemic era-ish. We could get him back if it's done right. But you have to put him into the Royal Rumble. He has to win the Royal Rumble. He has to go on and have matches on TV against fucking powerhouses and shit. Get him over. And he could be believable as one of the guys who, it's just like when they beat the Undertaker streak, that the only person that made sense for was Brock Lesnar. That could be Braun Strowman. He could be that powerhouse who could stand up to not only Roman, but the rest of, the bloodline.
Multiple men at once.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Braun Strowman returns, Braun Strowman wins. But also I believe that, they're building the whole CM Punk, Seth Rollins thing for a reason. The fact that Seth Rollins has to go out to get his knee rehabbed and everything, they easily put, Punk saying like, I wrestled with this injury, but yeah, you go heal up before you come back and shit like that. But I think if history is shown or repeated ourselves, the title that's not selected by the Rumble winner is usually defended at Elimination Chamber.
Right.
So maybe Punk does win. Maybe Punk does pick Seth Rollins, and that means, Roman, has to defend the title, but we'll see. Royal Rumble is today. Is there anything else wrestling related we got to talk about, DJ? Did I miss any?
But what's funny is I actually wanted to touch bases with The Rock and Roman, because I kind of had the same thought you did, that it doesn't need to be at WrestleMania.
No. I mean, we all know that something's going to happen the moment The Rock said, should I be sitting at the head of the table or something like that, and everyone pops like, but it just sucks because I don't know if it's a timing thing or whatever it is, but it was said, but it hasn't really been brought up. It hasn't been brought up that much.
To develop this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they gotta get through the Fatal 4-Way. So maybe after the Fatal 4, I mean, shit, dude, The Rock could be in the Royal Rumble. Maybe he does get eliminated or something like that. Maybe he gets eliminated by the Bloodline or some shit. Maybe Solo or whatever fucking eliminates him, and that's what kind of builds up the whole thing to
the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
So let's look at it this way. He screws Roman in the Fatal 4-Way. Randy Orton picks up the win. Now you could set up Cody versus Randy Orton with there's already backstory there.
I don't see The Rock screwing Roman out of the title. I don't think they go that route. I think even though Roman is a heel and The Rock is a baby, I think that's too heelish for him to fucking do. I see it as a way they have to screw Rock out of the opportunity in order for the match to make sense. And that's why I think if Rock goes into the Royal Rumble, if he's the final four, let's say the final four is Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Walter, and The Rock. I have no doubt that Solo Sikoa might come out and dump The Rock over or some shit. Maybe there's like a promo at the beginning of the pay-per-view where he says, I'm in the Royal Rumble. I'm going to, walk in. I'm going to walk out. I'm going to be champion and shit like that. He says it to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has to, fix this or, whatever. And so they have to screw Rock out of it in order for it to become a personal thing. I don't see the Rock. First off, I don't see Roman losing the match, losing his title reign in a screw job. I see it more in a, either a cash in or losing in the match. I don't think they put Rock in a situation where he cost him the title.
Yeah, dude, it's just all these different thoughts I've had and how to make it, because I agree with you with that. Rock versus Roman does not have to happen at WrestleMania. And actually, if you used it for Australia, because you got this new stadium that I don't think they've ever been to, the Rock versus Roman to that stadium, you're selling out instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? And even then, it's like, oh shit, where's I know I sent the picture out and everything. Do they have they don't have a pay-per-view at the same place AEW did, right?
Wembley?
Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, they don't got SummerSlam listed yet as where they're having SummerSlam. Okay. I mean, they could drag that shit out to SummerSlam. It just depends on what route they want to go. I'll say now, if Rock is in the Royal Rumble, they will wrestle in Perth. If he's not, I bet they hold it off until SummerSlam.
Right.
Okay. But it'll be a good match. I mean, like I said, I know Roman's going to win because I think Rock even was in an interview and said, like, he wants to wrestle Roman and he's okay putting him over because he's the next guy. So, what else you got, DJ? Anything else? Anything else Dizzle J wants to talk about here in JFW?
I think it's time to ring the bell, dude.
Well, not yet. I got to fucking do the plug shit first.
Yeah, see? I'm out of practice.
I know. You're supposed to wait. The phrase is, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's the phrasing, man. So, I'm going to ask again, real quick, is there anything wrestling related you want to talk about?
That's all I got.
No, that's not it, man. God damn you, fucking Pacman. Holy hell. God, I'm sorry.
Hey, this is the first time in years I've done this.
Okay, this is what happens. I ask you if you have anything else to talk about. And you either say, oh, well, there's this, or, nah, man, I don't got anything else.
Because man, anything else.
Thank you. You'll get it. I get it, man. I gotta find out. I gotta find out how many episodes it's been since you've been on. I know it's been a minute. We gotta look that up. I'm just curious on the last time you were on. Guys, make sure you are following us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X, just by searching Just Freak Wrestling, the JFW Podcast. And of course, you can listen to us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio. Whatever you listen to your podcast, search us. We'll show up, JFW Podcast or Just Freak Wrestling. We are releasing video episodes as well as the audio only. This episode is going to be audio only, like I said, because we're dipping Dizzle J's toes back into the podcasting world. So when we do release the video versions of our shows, they will be available on our JFW Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell over there, and check them out. Make sure wherever you are listening to us, you do leave a rating, a review. Make sure you're subscribing so you know when the shows are coming out and all that. And I just want to say one final time, I am so happy that Dizzle J is back. I am so happy that we're doing this. And I can't wait to have the next one with you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, that's all I got.
Time to ring the bell of this episode.
Perfect. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW Podcast.
Peace.